picture. Beautiful.
Hello, snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday, and we will be talking about the Modern Horizons new cards. Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, not really. Well, there are two cards spoiled for Modern Horizons, which is actually a set that's gonna come out in in June, and probably might replace Modern Masters because it's gonna be the same price as Modern Masters packs, and basically that's true, and so basically that's the set, and it's not really modern staples, so there's no reprint of Tarmogoyf. Well, Tarmogoyf was reprinted in Ultimate Masters, which was the latest master set and probably the last master set for the foreseen future. But and also the thing is that basically when you that's how it is. But basically, if you would want so basically a set everything is modern legal. It contains new cards, and they are reprinting cards which aren't in modern. And today I'm going to show 20 cards that aren't modern legal, but which I think they should appear in Modern Horizons. Starting off with number 20. Swords to Plowshares. Of course, this is very likely to have a return in Modern Horizons because Swords to Plowshares is not modern legal, and it's actually better than Path to Exile. It's also a 1-white instant, but replacing the ramp effect with the controller gains life equal to its power. So and it actually is an awesome combo with Tainted Remedy, meaning it's a one mana instant exile removal with no drawback. Actually, it's stronger because Tainted Remedy says whenever an opponent gains life, instead that player loses that much life. Yeah, that's right. And so we will go to number 19, which is Control of the Court. You might be thinking, why Control of the Court? It's a 2-mana sorcery. Draw 4 cards and discard 3 cards at random. There is actually a similar card called Goblin Lore. It was printed in the same block, but Goblin Lore is modern legal. But Control of the Court would make an 8th Goblin Lore. And an 8th Goblin Lore, because you're going to be running 4 Goblin Lores and 4 Control of the Courts. If you're playing Hollow One, or a Mardu Pyromancer deck. But Mardu Pyromancer decks don't usually run Control of the Court or Goblin Lore. Well, Goblin Lore, but Control of the Court is still legacy. Only but Number 18. Rites of Initiation. It's actually a very good card. It's a 1 red instant. Discard any number of cards at random. Great in in Hollow One decks. It says And then creatures you control get +1/+0 on turn of turn for each card discarded this way. Overpowered, actually. Would have been better if it gave them haste, so it has a synergy with Hollow One. Yeah, that's right. Synergy with a Hollow One. Yeah, that would be cool. And let's go to number 17, which is Brainstorm. Brainstorm is a 1 blue instant. Draw 3 cards, then send 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Very good. It's a very good card. Much better than Ponder, of course, yeah. And the thing is that Brainstorm was never printed in Modern, so but it's also likely for Brainstorm to actually appear in Modern Horizons, I think. Yeah. It's very good. And it should be a modern card, yeah, but Brainstorm is not a modern card, yeah. Like Swords to Plowshares. Hopefully it's gonna be in Modern Horizons, so yeah. Number 16. Dark Ritual. Yes, Dark Ritual actually. Dark Ritual and also Cabal Ritual, but yeah, Dark Ritual basically. Mainly Dark Ritual. It's much better than... It's like a cheaper version of Pyretic Ritual. Because yeah, it's 1 black to add 3 black. And Pyretic Rituals are 1 red to add 3 red, basically. But Dark Ritual is not modern legal, so it should get reprinted. At least, yeah. But I'm not sure if it's gonna get a reprint. Number 15. Moment of Silence. Yes, Moment of Silence is actually kind of cool card. It's 1 white instant as a common card actually. Target player skips their combat. Basically, it's actually a good card. Yeah, it's very good. You stop someone from attacking you, or you stop your opponent from attacking you for lethal in white. You could actually, yeah, that's a good thing. Also, it's not really like a fog effect like Holy Day, but basically, Moment of Silence is actually also triggers effects that say like if certain creature doesn't attack that turn, it does a negative effect. Like, yeah, I know it's not modern, but for example, Urg Raiders, which says like 2 mana, 2/3, and then at the end of the turn, unless if it had Summoning Sickness, if you didn't attack with Urg Raiders, it deals 2 damage to you. But yeah, basically Moment of Silence is actually a good card. It stops the combat phases, but let's go on to number 14. Chainer's Edict. Chainer's Edict is a 2 mana sorcery. Target player sacrifices a creature. Yeah, also Diabolic Edict could be a good one, yeah. But Chainer's Edict is actually much better than Diabolic Edict. Although it's just sorcery speed, you can flashback it for 7 mana. Yeah. So you can actually, it can recur. So it sacrifices creature, then if you, in late game, you could cause it again, and then the opponent sacrifices their big creature, if that's the only creature they have. Yeah. It is actually a very good card. Number 13. Mesmeric Fend. Yeah. It's a 2 mana 1/1 Nightmare Horror. Which, yeah, Nightmare Horrors do something when they enter the battlefield, and then when they leave, they undo it. Like, they're both triggers. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand, and you choose a non-land card for it. Exile it. And when it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Yeah. Much better than Brain Maggot. Yeah, Brain Maggot is an enchantment creature, and it's exiled until it leaves the battlefield. Yeah. Because there's a difference between until it leaves the battlefield or when it leaves the battlefield, it undoes the effect. So if you have Heartless Summoning, for example, which says your creatures cost 2 less to cast, but your creatures get -1/-1. The trick is, 1 black. Play Mesmeric Fend. One of your die triggers happen. Then, so there's 2 triggers. When it enters the battlefield and when it leaves the battlefield. If you put when it leaves the battlefield first, it does nothing. Yeah. But then when it enters the battlefield, which comes after that, you get to see their hand, choose a non-land card for it, exile it. Out. Yeah. That's good. And you exile it forever, actually. Yeah. Very, very good. Doesn't work with Brain Maggot if you do that trick. Or with a Visceraseer, you could actually do this. Well, yeah, it's 2 mana, but you get a Scry. So they're like better versions of Heart Scrutiny. The Foxes, that's what combos you can do with Mesmeric Fend. Yeah. Yes, and it does not say friend, it says fend. Yeah. Number 12, Nature's Lore. There is actually a card, called Farseek, which is basically Nature's Lore, but enters tapped, and for everything but a forest. Nature's Lore is a forest. Yeah. And it is actually, I want this in the Modern Horizons, and it should be a modern card, like Farseek. Also see Free Visits, which it's most likely for Nature's Lore to return instead of Free Visits, but hopefully they both return. Free Visits and Nature's Lore. Yeah. It's true. Hopefully it happens, That Nature's Lore and Free Visits return. So it's going to be 8 Nature's Lore in a modern deck. But, in Modern Horizons it's going to get released in June. So we still got a few months to go. Yeah. But that's the set. That's not. I'm just showing cards I wish they are coming to the. What? Okay. But let's go to number 11, which is Vindicate. No, this is not TIE Fighter. I think that's a Weatherlight, actually, in the art. But basically, that's Vindicate. And it's not modern legal, I just realized. So Mortify is way much more playable than Vindicate. So it looks like Mortify was always more playable than Vindicate, even before it got reprinted in Ravnica Legends. But Vindicate is the better version of Mortify, because it destroys a permanent, not just creatures or enchantments. Any permanent. You see this? White and black land destruction, or artifact destruction, or enchantment destruction, creature destruction, planeswalker destruction. At sorcery speed, yes. I think, is Mortifier instant? don't know. I think it's an instant, I'm not sure. But yeah. Number 10 is Goblin Bombardment. No, it's actually not modern, so yeah. Goblin Bombardment should be in Modern Horizons. And that theme included, yeah, would make Goblin Storm decks more powerful actually. And 8-whack decks, or and yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's a very good card. A red sack outlet that deals damage to creatures or players. This is actually one of the cards for the Legacy turn 0 win combo. Excluding the cases of Leyline of the Void, like basically in Legacy, if the easiest way to win on turn 0 is if you have Leyline of the Void and opening hand against a Dredge deck. Or a Reanimator deck. And that's how you win. Easily. Yeah. But yeah, Goblin Bombardment is actually a very good card. Number 9. Putrid Imp. Yeah. Some of you might be laughing at that card, but no, it's actually much better than what you think it is. It's played in, it's some Legacy Dredge decks play that card. And this should be in Modern, in Dredge decks. Dredge decks need Putrid Imp. But yeah, it's a 1 black, 1/1 zombie imp. But you can discard a card from your hand to gain flying until end of turn. But that doesn't mean you can't discard a card if... But it doesn't mean you can't discard a card to give it flying if it already has flying. And the least important part is the threshold effect, which gives it +1/+1 and can't block. Which means if you have 7 more cards in your graveyard. But a part of the threshold effect is actually negative. Some threshold effects have a positive effect and negative effect. But other threshold effects are positive. Not sure if there's any card that has a negative threshold effect yet. But let's move on to number 8. Counterspell. Definitely Counterspell. It is a card that many blue players want in Modern Horizons, including me. Yeah, of course I am a blue player, yeah. I play blue a lot, yeah. I sometimes play my Storm deck, which is my blue Modern deck, yeah. And yeah, it's a very good card. It's 2 blue instant counter target spell. Many players have to play Wizard's Retort, which is its alternative version, which is also in standard. Also, many cards could get same mana cost as Counterspell, but it's conditional. But hopefully they bring back Counterspell, the original one, yeah. Not sure of the original art though, but if it returns, it's very likely that it's going to be the Jace art. I think it's from the Jace versus Chandra dual decks, yeah. Yeah, there was actually a Jace versus Chandra dual decks. But let's move on to number 7. Black Vice. You know, there's all of the rack decks out there in Modern. But have you noticed there is no such thing as a Black Vice Modern deck? That's because it's not Modern. That's why Black Vice and Ivory Tower is not they're not modern. Wow, yeah. Because Black Vice is basically the opposite of the rack. Well, the true opposite would be Ivory Tower, meaning that rather than having your opponent lose being dealt 3 damage minus the amount of cards that player has in hand, you gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand minus 4. Well, Black Vice does like deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of cards in his or her hand minus 4. Yeah. Apparently, Black Vice had a masterpiece, but not the rack. Wow, I have 4 viewers on both Twitch and YouTube. Remember, spectators, like and subscribe if you have, or follow if you haven't already. Yeah. But yeah, let's go to number 6, which is Containment Priest. Yeah, Containment Priest. Of course, it was only printed in Commander 2014, and yeah, it's the original print. But then they got reprinted as a Invocation Masterpiece, and then in Ultimate Masters. It counters Dredge. It is also stops Dredge. Containment Priest. We do have I think it was called Mistcaller, which is also in standard. Yeah, Mistcaller. It's also in standard. But basically you sacrificed it for the effect to happen. It's 1 mana. But yeah, it's just 1 mana. Rather than being 2 mana with flash. It's a 1/1, but rather than always having that effect, it's sacrificed to have that effect happen. Yeah, that's right. Number 5, we got Priest of Titania. Of course, I want that card in Modern, so then my MTG Online Modern Elves deck could actually work better. Of course, there is that Elf Lord that also has the Priest of Titania effect, but only with your elves. But Priest of Titania goes for each elf in play, not just your own. So if it's an elf mirror match, both of the elf players, if they have Priest of Titania on the battlefield, they will get so much mana. Yeah, and I want this in Modern because yeah, it's very good, a very good card. It should be a Modern card, of course. Number 4, we got True Name Nemesis. Of course, True Name Nemesis should be a Modern card. Of course. Yeah, True Name Nemesis. Definitely True Name Nemesis. It's very good. It's a 3 mana, 3/1 Merfolk Rogue. When into the battlefield, choose a player and has protection from that player. And yeah, basically, what it was originally printed in the original Commander set. No. Original Commander set? No, but it was. I think it was printed in Commander 2013. It was original Commander 2013, 14, 15, 16, Anthology 17, and 18. And also Commander 2019 might be coming out soon, yeah. And yeah, and it was reprinted in Battle Bond. And True Name Nemesis saw a foil version for the first time. Yeah, basically. And it's a mythic, not rare. But let's go on to number 3, which is Baleful Strix. Baleful Strix is a very good card. Yeah, it's much better than Tidehollow Strix, because yeah, Tidehollow Strix is basically Baleful Strix, but replacing the draw effect with 1 extra power. And Baleful Strix, what's special is that it gives you card advantage, and it can be good at blocking. And yeah, and it was only printed in Commander actually, similar to True Name Nemesis, which yeah, True Name Nemesis, Baleful Strix, and no, not Putrid Imp. Which one was Containment Priest? No, not Counterspell. Counterspell was one of the alpha cards. No, not Black Vice. Yeah, Containment Priest, yeah. They were originally printed in Commander sets. And then they eventually got reprinted, of course. But, yeah, that is one card that should be reprinted, of course. Number 2, Toxic Deluge. Yeah, Toxic Deluge is a 3 mana sorcery, but as an additional cost to cast it, pay X life. All creatures get -X on turn of turn. It was originally printed in Commander 2013, and then it got reprinted in Eternal Masters. That's it. It's a very good board wipe, which can get past Indestructible and Regeneration. But you have to pay life, and it's actually cheaper than Damnation or Wrath of God, or yeah, those board wipes. Toxic Deluge is actually cheaper in mana than those board wipes. Yeah, it's a very good card. Yeah, and it can actually be a one-sided Plague Wind if your creatures are big. Yeah, well, not Plague Wind is one-sided. Plague Wind and in Garruk's Wake. But yeah, basically, it can turn into a one-sided Wrath of God, but which is basically Plague Wind, a one-sided Wrath of God. But let's go to number 1. Well, yeah, Volcanic Island is definitely not getting reprinted. Because it's in the reserve list, of course. Yeah, it's in the reserve list. The best land in the game, well, the cycle of the best lands in the game, they are restricted. I mean, in the reserve list. Restricted, no, they're not restricted in Vintage. Yeah. They're Legacy legal, Commander legal, actually, and Vintage legal. Yeah. But the number 1 card that I think it should return is Wasteland. Which, yeah, I once accidentally put Wasteland into my Modern sideboard without realizing that it was actually a Legacy card. I didn't know much about the Modern format. I thought that was a Modern legal card, but no. Wow, I just realized I built my first Modern deck more than a year ago, actually. And yeah, it's tap for 1 colorless mana, or tap, sacrifice it to destroy a non-basic land. Usually in Legacy, it went after Rishadan Port. Yeah. Which was also a powerful land, which is tap for 1 curse mana, or 1 mana tap target land. You might think, how is that good? He's gonna tap mana in response. But you force them into tapping mana. Of course, yeah. Or if it can't tap mana, for example, Maze of Ith, it gets deactivated. For example, yeah. It's a very good card, both Wasteland and Rishadan Port, but I think Wasteland is more likely to return than Rishadan Port. But the thing is that Wasteland is there because a strip mine was way too powerful. It could hit lands, not just non-basic. It could hit basic lands. So that meant it was banned in Legacy and restricted in Vintage, meaning it's actually cheaper in money than Wasteland. So why buy Wasteland? Unless if you're making a Legacy deck, and then that's why I can understand why you're buying Wasteland instead of Strip Mine, which, yeah. If you want to make a commander deck, unless if you're gonna use both, buy Strip Mine, not Wasteland. Yeah. It's better and it's cheaper. Yeah. So they're both very good cards, but a card that may not get reprinted is, yeah, Maze of Ith, because of this If, which was in Time Spiral, which was basically Maze of Ith, but it's a creature, and it's basically If. It's a 7 mana 3/5 legendary human wizard with vigilance, and it has a Maze of If effect. It has suspend 4 for white and blue, so you can exile it on turn 2 for 4 counter, and then on turn 6 you get If. Yeah. If it doesn't get Rift Sweeper or processor or processed, basically, but like Eldrazi processors are actually kind of rare. Well, there is a Death and Taxes deck that runs Wasteland Strangler, because its trick is Flicker Wisp and then Wasteland Strangler, so you can kill 2 creatures, basically. Yeah, and then you also have 2 creatures, as well as killing 2 of the enemy creatures. And it's spoiler time. Yep, there are spoilers, 2 only. One is Sarah. Yeah, Sarah's finally getting a card, actually. So yeah, it's 4 mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker, Sarah. Yeah, it has +2. Creatures you control flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. -3. Summons a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance. Yeah, that's right. And -6, which is kind of easy to get because it's 4 loyalty and gets +2 return. You get an emblem with, if you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. Basically, it's basically the emblem is worship. Yeah, the emblem is worship, because worship is a 4 mana enchantment which says if damage would reduce your life total to less than 1, it reduces it to 1 instead. If you control a creature for 4 mana. Also, there is Fortune Thief and Ali from Cairo, which are 2 cards which say damage that will reduce your life total to less than 1, reduces it to 1, and they are 0/1 creatures, both of them. Fortune Thief and Ali from Cairo. But yeah, that's a very good card. And number 2 is Cabal Therapist. Cabal Therapist is basically Cabal Therapy on a stick. Basically, so if you say, yeah, in MTG, if the term on a stick means basically a permanent that has a card's effect that can recur, for example, like Cabal Therapist, the Cabal Therapy on a stick. So 1 black, 1/1 horror with menace, and at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you can sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name. The entire player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. Yep, that's right. So you can. So it's like and a Cabal Therapy. It's like you flashback it every turn, but it's actually slower than sorcery because you can only get it on your pre-combat main phase, not the post-combat. It should say at the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose pre-combat or post-combat. When you do, at the beginning of that phase, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose an online card name, the entire player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. Or it should say, if it's the first time you activate this effect, instead of sacrificing a creature, you may pay 1 black mana instead. Yeah, that should be a good fixing effect for Cabal Therapist. And because of Cabal Therapist, it might mean that Cabal Therapy is not getting reprinted in Modern Horizons. Yeah, that's what might happen. Cabal Therapist might stop Cabal Therapy from getting reprinted. Yeah. Funny. A card can stop another card from being reprinted. It's those are the cards that I want in the Modern Horizons. And let's actually do a recap of the cards. Number 20, we got Swords to Plowshares. Card very likely to return. Yeah. Because the thing is that there's a card that's basically 1 black. Instant exile target colorless creature, you gain life equal to its power. So which is in M19. So basically it is actually kind of weak because it only counters Tron decks, Affinity decks, Affinity Hardened Scales, and basically the Walking Ballista deck. But decks that run Walking Ballista, which there aren't many in Modern, but you're not gonna gain life because you're gonna force instead the opponent to shoot at you or your stuff if you're gonna do that card on them. Yeah. So let's go on to number 19. Control of the court. Yeah. Yeah. It's 2 mana, sorcery, draw 4 cards, then put them into hand. Then discard 3 cards at random from your hand. Similar card is Goblin Lore, but Goblin Lore is modern legal, so control of the card might not return in Modern Horizons because of Goblin Lore, but that would make an 8th Goblin Lore. 4 of each, and that's 8 control of the culture, 8 Goblin Lores. Yeah. Number 18 is Rites of Initiation, which is a good card. Yeah, one red instant. And then you can discard any number of cards at random. Creatures you control get +1/+0 on turn of turn. For each card discarded this way. Yeah, it's yeah, 1 red instant. Good in the Hollow 1 decks, but there's no Legacy Hollow 1 decks. And that's why Rites of Initiation should be reprinted, because it's going to be good in the modern Hollow 1 decks. Number 17, Brainstorm. Brainstorm is a 1 blue instant, draw 3 cards and put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Yeah, that's right. Just that. Which is very good. A very good effect. You get to draw 3 cards first, then you can put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order, so meaning that if you have yeah, basically, if you're gonna discard cards at the end of turn, and Brainstorm might actually stop you from discarding cards because they're gonna go on top of your library earlier. And yeah, you put maybe cards you don't need right now or good cards on top of your library, so to filter like your draws, to make sure you're not drawing very bad cards, and instead you're drawing something you put there. Yeah, of course. Funny. Number 16 is Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is a 1 black instant, add 3 black to your mana pool. That's it. Yeah, Cabal Ritual should have also been there, but yeah. But yeah, it's mainly Dark Ritual. It's mainly Dark Ritual, not really Cabal Ritual, because the thing is that Cabal Ritual might get banned, like Seething Song got banned, because yeah, it's a 2 and 1 red instant, add 5 red to your mana pool. And Cabal Ritual is basically 1 and 1 black instant, add 3 black to your mana pool. But if you have Threshold, you add 5 black instead of 3 black. Yeah, very good. It could be a cheaper version of Seething Song, like maybe the Pyretic Ritual is basically based off Dark Ritual, and Seething Song is based off Cabal Ritual, but basically also as well. Remember also there was, yeah, number 15 is Moment of Silence. Yeah, stops a combat from happening. Yeah, target player skips his or her combat phase this turn. That's it. Yeah, and it could be a fog as well, but yeah, it's a card that should be there. Number 14, Chainer's Edict. Yeah, that's right. 1 and 1 black, sorcery, target player sacrifices a creature, flashback 5 and 2 black. And yeah, it should be a card in Modern Horizons. I think it might be very likely for it to return actually, yeah, because yeah, but it's very good. If it gets reprinted, it might be an uncommon rather than being a common. I'm not sure if it was ever printed as a common, but yeah. Number 13, Mesmeric Fend. Yeah. The trick is for Mesmeric Fend, if basically when it enters battlefield, you can respond to the trigger. Or like if when it enters battlefield, it enters battlefield. You can respond to the triggers by somehow bouncing it or exiling it. Yeah, you just kill it. The best way to do it is if you bounce it to your hand or to the top of your library. And then you can recur the effect. And basically, there's going to be two triggers, the enter and the leave. Put the leave on top. So, leave effect, nothing happens. Enter the battlefield effect. Look at the opponent's hand. Take a card out of it. Non-land. Exile it. Forever. It's not going to come back. Excluding the cases of Rift Sweeper, which is kind of rare, actually. Just remembered about Rift Sweeper and the processor cards, but yeah. The cases of that is rare. Very rare. But if you manage to bounce it, you might be able to do the effect all over again, actually. Try using a card that says, try using a creature that could bounce your own creatures. Like, for example, I think it was some sort of portal. Erratic portal. You can bounce your own Mesmeric Fend, and yeah, it bounces. Yeah, it bounces. You can bounce your own Mesmeric Fend. You don't pay the one, and you just you always do this. Recur. You free mana. Exile a card from your hand permanently. And then it puts back to hand the Mesmeric Fend. That's an awesome combo you can do with Mesmeric Fend. Number 12, Nature's Lore or Free Visits. But mainly Nature's Lore. They're the two, both of them are the same thing. Simply, Nature's Lore looks much better than Free Visits. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Nature's Lore and Free Visits. But it's most probable that it's Nature's Lore, not Free Visits, returning. If Free Visits is returning, it's very likely that Nature's Lore is returning. Yeah. And what's special about Nature's Lore and Free Visits? It enters untapped. And it's any forest, not just a basic forest. Like Farseek, but Farseek enters tapped and it's anything but a forest. And it doesn't have to be basic. So yeah, Nature's Lore, and then search for Fetch Land, Shockland I meant. Or the Slowlands, or one of the Slowlands. Or Psycholand. Or that forest card or Murmuring Bosk, or Dried Arbor, actually, yeah. A Shockland, Dried Arbor, Murmuring Bosk, Sap Seed Forest, a Snow Forest, actually, but Snow Forests are basic forests, but snow, yeah. or just go very basic and it's just the basic forest, not snow basic forest. But yeah, number 11, Vindicate. Oh, Mortify is an instant. Yeah, it is an instant. Yeah, but Vindicate should be there because although it's a sorcery, it destroys any permanent. Any permanent. Not just creatures or enchantments. Any permanent, but at the cost of it being a sorcery rather than being an instant. But Mortify, yeah, is an instant. Destroy target creature or enchantment, but yeah, Vindicate is an awesome card. Number 10, Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, it's a 2-mana enchantment, sacrifice a creature, and it deals 1 damage to target creature player. Red, Sack Outlet, that deals damage. Very good card. Should be a staple for Goblin Storm, but it's not. Until Modern Horizons, that hopefully it's going to reprint Goblin Bombardment, which is very likely for it to be reprinted, I think. But yeah, it's very likely for it to happen. But yeah, number 9, Putrid Imp. Putrid Imp is a 1 black 1/1 zombie imp, and it has discard a card from your hand and it gains flying and turn of turn. And threshold says gets +1/+1 and can't block. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, threshold as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Yeah. Number 8, Counterspell. Yeah, the original one. Yeah, the original Counterspell. It was the best Counterspell in the game. I think it was the only one for just a few years, like 1 or 2 years, until Legends came out, and they printed Mana Drain, which is a better version of Counterspell, but gives you mana. So Counterspell is the second best Counterspell, and Mana Drain sits on top. Yeah, nothing. They couldn't make anything better than Counterspell and Mana Drain. Well, yeah, Mana Drain is better than Counterspell, of course, yeah, but they couldn't make any Counterspell better than Mana Drain. Yeah. Number 7, Black Vice. Black Vice is basically a reverse rack. Yeah, reverse rack. But it's not modern legal. And it was a masterpiece, and the other one wasn't a masterpiece. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. That's basically the Black Vice. But yeah. That's it. That's Black Vice. Simply that. And number 6 is Containment Priest, which is just a 2-mana of 2/2 human cleric with flash, and if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Yeah, that's right. Counters Dredge. Counters Reanimator decks. That's what it does. Dredge and Reanimator decks countered. but it's only legacy card, so it should be a modern card. It might. I think it's very likely for it to see a reprint in Modern Horizons. Yeah, hopefully. But number 5 is Priest of Titania, which is a 2-mana 1/1 elf. Druid, actually. It's an elf druid. And it's tap, add green to your mana pool for each elf in the battlefield. Yeah. Number 4, True Name Nemesis. True Name Nemesis is a 3-mana 3/1 Merfolk rogue with 1 into the battlefield. Choose the player. And has protection from the chosen player. That's it. Very good card. And basically, it's in 1v1, it's unblockable. Excluding the cases of... Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good card. True Name Nemesis. Number 3, Baleful Strits. Just draw cards. Number 2, Toxic Deluge. Board wipe. Yeah, and that is actually a way to deal with True Name Nemesis, Toxic Deluge. That's not gonna be reprinted, of course, because it is in the reserve list. Because yeah, its latest print was actually Masters Edition 4. Yeah. But yeah, that is from Vintage Masters, but Vintage Masters is an online only set. And the only online only set. Funny. And yeah, that's the latest version of Volcanic Island. But yeah, it's originally from beta? Oh, yeah. Might be wondering, wait, it's not an original alpha card? Well, yeah. Somehow they didn't include this in alpha. It was just beta, unlimited, revised, Masters Edition 2, and Masters Edition 4. And it was added on in Vintage Masters, of course. And yeah, it's the best land in the game, Volcanic Island. But, of course, it's not getting reprinted. Nope. And that, maybe both, or none of them, might get reprinted. And hopefully they do. Yeah, because if they do, I'm going to run Wasteland and hopefully Richard and Port as well in my modern deck. Yes. You're wondering, why use Wasteland in Burn? Yes, I will actually be using a Wasteland in Burn and Mardu Pyromancer if it gets reprinted, hopefully. But yeah. But Maze of If might not get reprinted because of If, which was an older card, which was very similar to Maze of If. And these are the 2 spoilers. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Yeah. So yeah, type in the live chat, stream chat, or in the comments which one of these cards do you like the most. What card would you like in Modern Horizons, and basically which one would you recommend, and which one do you agree or disagree with, like, do you agree with the list? Disagree? Hopefully you agree, of course, yeah. Like, subscribe, follow, yeah. Share with your friends. And yeah, stay tuned to my next videos and streams and podcasts. And the podcasts are live every single Tuesday. So stay tuned to them. Yeah. Remember to watch my other videos too. And yeah, share with your friends. Like, subscribe, follow. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Beautiful.